Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we are going to go back to the Japanese whiskey range and Hibiki. So I know
Is this actually considered a Japanese whiskey?
I think it is. I do believe all the different whiskeys that are blended into this are from Japan.
Okay.
Don't know that for certain, but I'm pretty certain. And this is a blend. This is from Suntory, the Hibiki Harmony. Some Japanese harmony. It depends on which sentence you read. From Suntory, which also owns Jim Beam. So there's a connection there. I do believe that when we did the, what was it, Legent? Mm-hmm. It was their master blender with, why am I drawing a blank on the Jim Beam dude?
No.
Yeah. Fredno, and the master blender from, current master blender from Suntory worked together on that bottle. But this is the Hibiki Harmony. So this came out, I want to say it was just a handful of years ago. Really cool bottle. Mm-hmm. That's really what they're known for. Is some of their bottles are just
it's a nice infinity bottle.
It's exactly
when you're done.
You can because the labels will come off. Really just a cool look, all the glass and everything like that. So it is a really cool bottle. What do we know about this? We know it is 86 proof. Okay, cool. It is a blend of 10 different whiskeys. It's crazy. So there's some malts, there's some grains, there's all different woods that it's finished in, including the Mizunara oak, the special Japanese oak. You can only start to use it for a barrel if it falls naturally. You can't cut it down. So it's super rare and so it's super expensive. But this is
I would imagine they've got access to all kinds of
they probably do.
It's got good color.
It does?
For Japanese.
I didn't check to see if it was colored, any color added to it, but again, I'm going to guess no. They're very particular on their whiskey, so just a guess of no. It should be, everything about it should be light.
Oh, it's
and
light.
Refreshing and that airy kind of notes.
I get wood.
Yeah, you get a lot of the oak notes. Not overly smoky.
No, not at all.
Or any of those. Sometimes you get, a lot of times Japanese whiskeys tend to be a little bit more, very similar to like a smoky Scotch. Doesn't really have that. A little floral. And the wood.
It's kind of got that Scotch note on the palate.
It does. Like a really light, like a blend.
Yep.
Almost like a Johnny Walker type thing where a blend of other things with a hint of an Isla. It has a hint of a smoky. Doesn't show up. The smoke note really doesn't show up on the nose though. The nose is really light.
Well, we're going back to the nose now. It's still light, but I don't get the oak, that wood note is strong.
So I know we did the Suntory Toki. That was one of the other ones that we've already done, which pretty sure doesn't qualify as a Japanese whiskey. So the Suntory traces its lineage back to 1923. So Shinjiro Tori started the distillery. He wanted to create whiskey. Apparently they had some family money and he just decided, I'm opening up a distillery in Yamazaki. So, and I think there's actually, you can get like a single grain Yamazaki or single malt Yamazaki Japanese whiskey as well. So that's kind of the lineage going back through all of that. Apparently the very first time they released a whiskey, it failed horribly. So he learned really and studied from Scotch. And the smoke note was too aggressive for the Japanese palate. And there's a lot of this all over their website about how a lot of their whiskeys are a little bit lighter and more delicate. So you really have to concentrate as you're drinking because that is the Japanese palate. They prefer lighter and delicate and just kind of search more for the flavor profile.
Okay.
I was like, well, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way. It's so light that obviously our palate is not as refined as the Japanese palate, mostly because we're so used to like the aggressive bourbon, heavy sugar notes, heavy proofs, and this is really light.
You're going to completely disagree with me, but yeah, I get a good sniff in there. I almost get like the little Jeptha Creed. I don't know what it is.
Like a chemically?
Yeah.
Maybe the glasses weren't rinsed out fully. I don't get that. I mean, the ethanol, oddly, for only 86 proof, the ethanol is a little apparent. So that is one of the things I will say. There is a little bit of an ethanol note. It's not strong by any means. I get more floral notes.
I don't get anything of that on the taste. I just going after tasting it and then going back, like I said, that oaky wood note for me on the nose just kind of disappears. But now I'm picking up that some chemically.
Chemically, I don't get chemically. I get a lot of the.
That's a word, but
what?
Is that even a word?
Sure. All right, on the nose, no. It's light, little ethanol. The oaky is still there. The palate, there's a sweetness.
Sweet, like a honey note.
Yeah, and then there's a little bit of a smoke, char, something note that's coming through, and it finishes really lightly with those same notes. That honey and that char smoke note sits there for a while. Actually, it sits there for a while. Now I'm getting a touch of maybe a citrus note to it, but that's also pretty light. But the Harmony line, the Hibiki line was released in 1989, I think was the first time they released that. They've had different age statements that they've brought in, got rid of. There is like the Harmony, there's still, I think, like a 17 and a 25.
Oh,
wow. So they do have some pretty
stuff that's been aged for a while.
Yeah, heavy aging. Love that. I'll zoom in on that, and that's just kind of a cool little, again, totally an infinity bottle when that bottle's open, empty. So
readily available? No, kind of get a hunt for it.
It's not a hard hunt.
Okay.
There are if you go to a liquor store that has a decent Scotch and like foreign whiskey selection,
good chance.
It's pretty easy to find.
Okay.
Cool Springs usually has it. Things like those bigger ones will end up having it, but it's not cheap. $80-$90 is generally where it is. MSRP, I think. Well, it used to be 75. I don't know. Can't find it anywhere for less than $80-$90. It cost me like 82, 83, something like that. I wanted to get it because we did the blender's choice.
Right.
And that blender's choice was like just amazing. So as soon as after we filmed that one, I was like, if I see a Hibiki Harmony, I'm buying it because I want to do the comparison. It doesn't compare.
Okay.
My opinion, the blender's choice was just so much better. Now the price on that was so much better. That was the gift from Tommy.
Oh yeah.
That was a little sample bottle from Tommy. Yep. That was just stellar. I thought it was a really great drink, but officially it's only supposed to be on sale in Japan, only through retail, not through retail, but restaurants and bars is all who's supposed to get it. So it's not a cheap bottle. I think that was $350. Okay, so is that 3.5 times better than this? No, but it was better. But this is not bad by any means.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I think mid-70s, a good price for this one.
Yeah, I don't get that chemical note. I don't know where you're coming with that one.
It's there.
The ethanol is more apparent on the nose than I thought it would be. Usually, I just expect it to be super light nose.
A slight burn on the finish, too.
There's a little bit of a, It's not warmth, though. It's just, there's a little harshness on the back of the throat. Overall, it's a good bottle. It's a beautiful bottle. That will get I'll get a lot of use out of that bottle. But it's good. I do want to keep looking for other Japanese whiskeys. That's one thing that they're harder to find, or it's not that they're harder to find. It's harder to pull the trigger because I don't know anything about them. That's really what it comes down to.
Yep.
Outside of...
Because not many of our friends dabble in the
No.
Japanese whiskeys.
Exactly.
Where we could
sample or
more.
at least have a palate for it or
Yep.
an understanding of the profiles and things like that. Outside of the Hibiki line and the Suntory line, Nika, and those are kind of the only two that I really know. I'm not sure. So, well, I'm gonna keep looking, keep figuring it out. I want to say I did see a bottle of Nika from the barrel that I want to grab. So I'm gonna try to pull that together.
I think it's pretty solid.
It is good. It's very good.
Again, it's not something that we drink a whole lot of.
No, and I don't think it's meant for that. The whiskey itself is probably not that kind of thing. But you're talking about Japanese whiskeys.
Yeah.
I stepped on your toes. Sorry.
No. No, it's just not something we drink a lot of.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know of one of our buddies that even has an Asian whiskey on his bar.
I know 2 total.
Okay. Point exactly.
2 total.
Well, we'll keep our lookout. We'll have more to do on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, Japanese whiskey. I think not only do I want to explore it, we want to explore more Japanese whiskeys to learn more about them. I think that's also something that you guys would love because you're probably in the same boat. It's just not something you are super exposed to.
Got a few? Drop us a comment.
Yeah, or if you have one that you've had, let us know. We'd love to hear suggestions because it's still kind of shooting in the dark.
Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, as always, swipe that button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we put out a new episode. Let us know if you have a Japanese whiskey you recommend because we're very open for the suggestion.
Yeah, give us some ideas. We'd love to review some more. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.